G'day, I'm Execute. I'm a small star citizen YouTuber. I live in Tasmania, Australia, and I'm unboxing of Ignite. This is my second take. The sound stuffed a little bit up on my first take, so I apologize for that. I will actually still upload the first video if you want to have a look at that as a fresh unboxing. So yeah, these have been opened, these boxes, and I've had a look at them. Unfortunately, I stuffed up the first video. My bad. All right, so I've jerry rigged a little bit of a setup here for you guys, so you can see my keyboard area. I've got my cup of tea here. Um, that's a little bit of a nod to Alex of Board Game Co. because he does the same thing with his coffee. I'm just not a coffee drinker. All right, so first cab off the rank is a new enemy. I've actually got the full all-in type of package here, so we'll be going through everything. And I am mainly just going to be showing off the miniatures today. If there's cards that you want to see, please let me know in the Facebook group, and I will make another video. Now, I also have the advantage that I've actually looked through this already now, so I can tell you all the good things. There are lots of stands of many different varieties, extra bags, a D20 and D6. And I'm going to have to say the miniatures the quality is actually really superb. If I actually go back to this view, and I'm trying to do this again, I actually managed to pull it off the first time. The quality of these is absolutely astounding. You can make out all the little scales, the quality of the wings there, as you can see, little gaps in the wings and whatnot. Really, really well done. Darren has literally knocked it out of the park. That said, they aren't without their flaws, and I will go over those. This video is going to be quicker because I have already unboxed it, as I said in the previous video. So if you want to watch that, you can go ahead. But as I said, I stuffed up. I had to make a new scene in the recording software, and long story short, it created a noise gate issue, if you know what that is, and basically it muffled my sound quite a bit. So put it back into my usual scene, and I'm re-recording it all over again. I'm also not going to really go through the manuals too much, but they've got, they're very text heavy, I would have to say, compared to most, but there are, as you can see there, and I do know it's upside down. I just realized that. Hang on, I'll turn around for you guys. But yeah, there's images and details about all the races and stuff like that in each one. My brother is not a board gamer, but he did appreciate the miniatures quite a bit. There is little things that actually mention what the Kickstarter exclusives are. So in this, it's a whole bunch of cards. And there's one in the other box that I'll show off in a minute for the Centaurs. So yeah, 550 cards roughly in each. The board itself is fairly chunky, as you can see. Haven't opened it yet. The miniatures themselves, sometimes I've had a little trouble getting them out of the box. Like this one here, I had a little bit of trouble the first time, but now you can see I've kind of got it down pat. So let's switch back to the camera and I'll show you these off. This orc is probably one of my favorites. Now I've looked at all of them. Of course, it wants to focus on my ugly mug and not. There we go. So yeah, this one's got 4 holes in the back. Because it's got extra health, being the orc. I'm going to give you a bit of feedback here, Darren, and obviously, I know you worked this all through, and this is probably the best thing that you could come up with. But some of these holes, the knives just don't work. And I know you probably already know all this. And you probably originally were going to have them in at like a 45-degree angle, but because of the way the molding works, they don't come out as well. But yeah, as I said, this is probably one of my favorite of them. Pretty good. Yeah, but some of the miniatures themselves are just really impressive. Like this one's really cool. Like if it's got a floating spear. And they've all got some really, really nice details. So that's those two down. Yeah, that's probably my only major complaint is I don't like how the daggers go in. And that's, you know, this is the second unboxing, so I didn't find that out until after I did the first unboxing. But yeah, that was a little bit of that. So yeah, I'm definitely moving through this one a lot quicker than the other one. The other one was about 20 minutes long, but unfortunately, as I said, the sound's all stuffed up. So this will be just as good as that. This box is fairly damn hefty. It it reminds me, and it's not as heavy as Gloomhaven, but it reminds me of Gloomhaven, as in for its size, it's fairly weighty. Even if you try out Jaws of the Lion, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's a fairly weighty game, and this is reminiscence of that. And it's definitely bigger than what Darren intended, because originally, remember, they were square, and now they're these giant rectangles. Tower of Pisa going over there with box lids, but that's fine. You obviously got a lot more tokens and the manual in this box, so you've got all your water golems, your kraken, and all that. We even get a real, now so I can find it again, there's even a real, you get a ginger snap one, if I can find it again. Darren put himself on one of these, let me find it. I'm now popping them out, there it is. So we get a ginger snap token, I don't know what that's for, but yeah, we get it regardless. If you again, as I said, if you want me to go through the cards, I will do that. There's all the extra boards. Quickly flip back over to this one. I did show this off in the previous video, but there's actually the community made card right there, the little panda, little helper. It's not going to focus, just a little helper. There we go. Yeah, the daggers themselves is the only real issue I've actually ran into gameplay-wise. It's just a little fiddly and hard to get into there. My panda specifically, the bottom hole on this panda, it's been damaged in the molding process, obviously, and it just doesn't take the dagger quite properly. But again, that's the only thing I found. But yeah, the miniatures themselves, so we'll start. I'm going to go backwards compared to the other video. So this is the panda, bit of a Kung Fu Panda vibe. The cat hair, God, I don't have cats, they get it. But yeah, the miniatures are just amazing. And again, being double sides. I'll also, I tried to think of a way that I could universally show off the scale. This is the closest thing I could come up with. So everyone has a USB stick. So the top part of a USB stick, everyone's got one of those. So that roughly, they're right next to each other. That roughly shows you how big it is. And as I said, a normal miniature would probably be up about that high. So he's a little bit taller. But on the orc he'd almost be twice as tall. Interestingly enough, in the box, because the dwarves are so small, they actually go sideways. They're shorter than everyone else. Very few of them are not next to their counterparts. So, for example, if I show you here, you get 4 Ratmen up the top here, and then there's one down here on its own. Same thing for the dwarves. Dwarves here, last dwarf here, but everyone else, they are with their counterparts. All right, onto the dwarf. And see, when it focuses, you get this. No, it's focusing on me again. Stop it. No one wants to see my ugly. Come on. There we go. So you can actually make out the little plating and whatnot on him. Nice little mustache. Really nicely done. Oh, come on. Some of them do get stuck, but it's just a bit of a learning process. So the Ratmen, we get 5 of these. My only little complaint on this guy is probably maybe a little more detail on the face, but the rest of the body, and I think it's kind of because he is kind of scrawny. You actually get little ribs in the tail, nice little crossbow on the back. It's focusing on me again, so apologies. Yep. Again, he has butt cheek knives, which I found comical. But yeah, I don't know if it's kind of hard to give feedback because you don't know what the process is that Darren went through. But for me, I almost would have had the daggers come straight down from above and just sit in the shoulders and use gravity. But obviously, as I said, we don't know the process that Darren's gone through. Maybe they can't have them pulled out of the mold that way. Um, yeah, I assume Darren. I remember Darren saying in one of the updates my housemate told me about that he's having trouble. So yeah. The cat folk. This one is very particularly very nice. You can make out all the fur. Oh, there we go. So you can make out all. No. So yeah, nice freestanding tail. Really, really nice weapon. I'm really happy with the models. I think Darren's really outdone himself. Um, Another little negative that does come through, and again, this is a really common issue with anything that's free floating. So, the panda's pole arm spear is slightly bent, and the same thing with the spear on the Vanguard from the not Valkyrie, so the Valkyrie. I'm thinking of Star Citizen ship name, sorry, which is the YouTube I normally do is Star Citizen. Getting my ship names mixed up. But yeah, the Valkyrie's spear is a little bent. Can't see myself and the camera at the same. Hang on. There we go. So this is one of the few miniatures that does have a seam, by the way. It's actually made in two parts. You can see it there just underneath. So you got the bottom half of the centon and the top. But the detailing is really, really nice, even in the axe blade. But as you can see, the blade is quite bent. But, you know, bit of hot water. And you could fix that. Alright, the lizard man. No, that doesn't want to come. Yep, this one will come out. Alright, so lizard man. Really, really nice. I think even just due to the size of the model, when this game hits the table, people are going to want to play it. They're like, what is that? Why are they so big? They've definitely got a presence about them. Another really, really nice model, one of the most impressive ones I would have to say, is Kitsune. There we go. So she just looks really awesome. The detail in a lot of the furs and stuff on this is really cool. One thing I will actually say about the Kitsune, surprisingly, she has one of the I've only tested three, which was the Kitsune, the cat folk, and the panda. But the Kitsune, because her holes are all vertical, that's how I was like, yeah, they all need to be vertical like this because her knives just worked straight off the bat. But that's like such a small critique. It is kind of cool to have the knives in, but like honestly, with the fiddliness, I think a lot of people are just gonna go, "Oh, can't be bothered." I don't even think people are gonna put the three daggers in. They're just gonna put one and then two, and then they're gonna call it done. After that, and I think that would have even been if they were having issues putting them or not. Right, the human, filthy humans. Um, Again, all really nice poses on these models. I think the only kind of feedback you could kind of give Darren at all is it would have been really nice to have unique poses, but that actually puts the cost up dramatically. And I will say they are all really damn nice. So, you know, on yourself. In the first video, this was actually the first model I showed off, and now she's the last. This is the elf. Focus again. My apologies. Focus. No, it hates me. No, it don't want to focus. Why not? And I don't know why I'm speaking Russian. Sorry. I'm a former stand-up comedian and game developer, so sometimes I get little quirky voices. What if we just put it near me? No, that's not going to work. I'll just tell you about it then. The cape is thick enough to be good quality, but not too thick to be chunky. Her hair has a really, really nice detailing on it. Oh man, I wish I could get this stuff. Hey, we have a winner. Yeah, she's got a really nice hair there. And yeah, nice shield. And it's gone out of focus again. I do apologize. I am not set up for unboxings. This has clearly been amateur hour with Execute. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If there's any cards you'd like to look at specifically or any questions you have, I'm hoping to get this to the table tomorrow evening with my local gaming club. And I hate the fact now, Darren, I have to go sleeve 1,000 cards. My fingers are going to be... anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. If there's anything else you'd like to look at, please let me know. Catch you guys in the next one.